We now will go to the Diamond Factory hotline to talk to our friend from DallasCowboys.com. It's Have Delman. Have, how's it going out there?
Oh, I had a small amount of anxiety about wherever that was going, but that was better than I could have ever hoped for. It is a thrill to be on with y'all. And I mean, spoonerizing my name, I can't ask for a better start.
See, that was better because I was going to say something real mean about you and the fact that you're not the
he knows we like Kelsey better.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You know, Kelsey, you know, is definitely, you know, the better half.
Which is really sad because Kelsey makes significantly fewer attempts to be like a friend than Dave does.
To
and
you,
yet,
and
still,
yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
It's true. It's like, I mean, Kelsey's better than me in every way except answering text.
Exactly.
So, yeah. You ask her to be on the show, she might get back to you next week. I'll get back to you right away.
That's
so I
right.
got that going for me.
That's right.
That's real nice of you, Dave. Thank you so much for getting back to us as quickly as you do. That means a lot to us that you would.
Anything for y'all, man.
It's funny because the first time I met Dave, it was at Jeff's house, and I walked up to him. I said, I finally get to meet David Helman in person. I've had more conversations with David Helman over the phone than I ever had actually meeting him. And it was the weirdest thing, like actually meeting you for the very first time. And like, oh, this is the guy. It's not just a picture on a piece of, you know, on a screen every time I talk to him. He's actually a real person who actually.
It's funny. It's funny between COVID and just like the industry. It's weird how normal that is these days. Like you meet somebody for the first time that like you've only ever tweeted at, or you've only ever Zoomed with, or you've only ever talked to on the phone. And at this point, like it just feels normal to me. I'm like, oh yeah, what's up, man? Like we've never met, but we're friends.
Exactly, like we're friends already. It was the same thing with Machota too. Like Machota walked in, I was like, oh. It's John Machota. Like, he actually exists in real life and not just somebody. I had actually had Machota on my podcast before I ever actually met him and actually, like, face-to-face before. Like, that's how
we are real people that occasionally do more than just tweet about the Cowboys. It's hard to believe, but it's true.
So, David, we didn't ask you here as a Cowboys reporter, except, like, I feel like we should do some sports here.
That's the obligatory thing that we have to do at some point.
So, here's my one Cowboys question. I don't know if Kevin's going to have a follow-up. Are the Cowboys good, David? Yes or no?
Define good.
You're a jerk. Good. Why would you hit me with the me? I'm the person who's supposed to ask for qualifications.
I mean, the Cowboys are good in the sense that they're a playoff contender. The Cowboys are not good in the sense that everybody has a right to want more than that. And I don't think you can sit here in May, and of course, you always have to like couch those type of statements and say like, of course we could all be wrong, but like, I don't think they're part of the NFL's elite right now, which is a tough thing to say about a team that just won 12 games. But sitting here around Memorial Day, I don't see it, but I welcome the opportunity for them to prove me wrong.
What's your favorite part about voluntary minicamp? Is it the actual fact that you get to see these players, you know, practice in shorts and T-shirts and jerseys, or the fact that, you know, it's somewhat kind of football in the middle of, you know, May?
I mean, I'll give you the cynical answer first. The cynical answer is like the start of OTAs means that we're like 3 weeks out from everything really shutting down for the summer, and then you can kind of just chill until training camp. So, like, for me, the start of OTAs is like, all right, we're going to grind for like 3 weeks. We've got a lot of stuff we got to knock out, and then it's smooth sailing until the team leaves for training camp, which is fantastic because it's just really mid-June to mid-July is the only month of the year that the league hasn't found a way to monetize yet. So it's like,
don't worry, I'm sure they will at some point.
I know they will, but it hasn't happened yet. And so like, it's the 1 month of the year where I can sort of just breathe and feel like I don't have to be addicted to the grind all the time. But to give you a better answer, I guess.
No, that's great so far. No, that's great.
I mean, you really, there are things you can learn. Like, you don't ever want to overreact, but like, just for instance, I mean, right away last year, you got a vibe for like just how special of an athlete Micah Parsons was. I remember like, there was a day at OTAs last year where he just dusted every tackle that he went against like they weren't even there, like the speed that he was just getting around guys. And, like, no, it's not real football. There's no real contact. But you can just learn a lot about, like, a guy's athleticism, the twitchiness, the confidence they play with. Even just, like, whenever it was, like 2 weeks ago at the rookie camp, I was just very impressed by how good of an athlete Tyler Smith was. Just how well he moved and how well he kind of handled a position that he hadn't played in 4 or 5 years. And, like, he's not going to be pancaking anybody at OTAs, but I think you can get a sense for how well he can handle the speed of that inside game. So, like, I'm excited to see him go against some of these veteran defensive tackles. Like I said, I mean, I ain't going to get carried away by anything I see, but I just think this is a good opportunity to kind of try to capture some of that potential, some of those flashes that these guys have.
David Helman of DallasCowboys.com joining us right here via the Diamond Factory hotline on the Get Right on 105 through the Fan.
Oh, okay. David, you might be familiar with the Louisiana State University. They're slated at 5.5 over under. Where are you going?
Oh, damn! Wow.
Oh, that's the over under for wins?
That's right.
That's a real number?
That's right.
That can't be a real number.
100% correct.
Look, I know LSU's been bad for a couple years, but, like, I would smash that over.
Wait, sorry. I read that wrong. LSU 6.5 wins.
I'm still smashing that over. Like, LSU should win. I mean, like, seven games should be a minimum expectation. Like, I looked at their schedule, and, like, obviously I'm a homer, but I try to look at things realistically. Like, Alabama is the only team on their schedule that is like a definite L right now. I think, it'll be tough to beat A&M. It'll be tough to beat Arkansas. Florida State is not an easy opener, but, like, their non-conference schedule outside of Florida State's a joke, and all they got to do, like, if they go 3-1 in non-conference and 500 in the SEC, they'll hit that over. So yeah, like, I'm thinking 8-4 for LSU this year. So I'd take that over all day long.
Are you confident in that? You good?
He sounded confident.
Okay.
He was actually upset by the over/under that I gave him.
I was trying to make sure he wasn't trying to convince himself, what's going on down there. Are y'all happy with
that?
We're
not going to miss a bowl.
Okay. Are you still
happy with what?
Are you still happy with that? The hire, Brian Kelly. You still okay with the hire? Have you good with that now?
I was always good with it because I talk about this with my friends all the time. Like, people are under this mistaken impression that you have to like the coach of your favorite football team, and I'm here to tell you, you don't. Like, I don't.
Sometimes it's better if you don't. Actually,
yeah. Brian Kelly can do all the fake accents and all the phony stuff.
Me and my family.
Just win games, and you can talk like Foghorn Leghorn all you want. I really don't care. And, I mean, Brian Kelly turned Central Michigan into a good program. He went undefeated at Cincinnati. He took Notre Dame to a level that it hadn't been at in 30 years. I know he didn't ever get over the hump, but it was Notre Dame. I mean, nobody else has gotten them over the hump either. So, yeah, I mean, you take that track record and put him at a program like LSU where, I mean, like, let's be honest. Like, Les Miles and Ed Orgeron are not rocket scientists, and they both won national titles at LSU. So,
but they had that certain thing, Dave. They had that certain thing that just, is unique to LSU, it felt like, for the both of them. I don't know Brian Kelly actually has.
They have that certain thing called coaching in a state with no other in-state power and
geography
an
is
insane
incredible.
Talent base.
Yeah.
But, I mean, you should be able to roll out of bed and sign a top 15 recruiting class at LSU. And that's if you're an idiot. If you're actually good at your job, you should be in the top 3 all the time. So I think Brian Kelly absolutely can get LSU rolling. So, yeah, I mean, like I said, like, I don't really care about liking him as a person as long as he gets LSU back to, like, 10-plus wins a year.
Okay. Well, we're going to be watching your LSU Tigers, and hopefully that, they get over the 6.5 wins. And
we're going to be poking you at every given time because it's the funnest
thing
to do.
Oh,
look,
wait.
Y'all got your own show now. Like, you can call me whenever you want to.
You know this.
Wait, before you go, I have to ask you.
I also have something to ask before he goes.
Oh, yes, something. Okay.
That's right, yeah.
So, Jimbo Fisher, Nick Saban, Deion Sanders, who wins that triple threat match between the three of them?
That one feels easy.
I mean, Like, is this an actual fight? Because
Yes.
I'm taking the Hall of Fame football player every time.
But
It's
he
an
got
actual
bad
fight.
legs. He be out here on that scooter.
Yeah.
Okay, he's got bad legs, but like I bet he could fight for 20 seconds without hyperventilating.
great
Like
point.
Nick Saban's 70
point.
years old.
I don't think people
Saban
realize
is
how long
70.
an actual real life fist fight actually lasts.
Dude, that's like, and like I've never been in like a legitimately like scary fight, but
You've
like
tried.
with boxers, like it's like, I mean, the stamina that it takes to like fight somebody for a sustained period of time is no joke.
David, are you familiar with a certain person named Houston Nutt?
Yes.
I love that chuckle. Apparently, he was a special guest speaker at a church here in Dallas, but he harkens back to one of my favorite nonsense college football stories in which he was soliciting ladies of the night on his work phone. And that made me think, what's your favorite college football story that just makes you laugh?
I mean, you can keep it right there in the state of Arkansas. Because Bobby Petrino showing up to that press conference with a wow, why can't I think of the word?
Neck brace?
The cone, the brace of shame on his neck after he
With the
wrecked
hat
his
on, too?
motorcycle. Yeah, just grinning from ear to ear because he got in a motorcycle wreck with his like assistant who was a volleyball player or something like that, who I think was married. Like, God bless college football, man. It's just
It's the greatest soap opera on earth right now.
we all love the NFL, and like the NFL is plenty entertaining in its own right, but like you just don't get the same level of human interest nonsense. Like, did y'all see, this whole thing with Saban and Jimbo?
Mm-hmm.
The next day, somebody put a microphone in front of Steve Spurrier, and he's like, well, like A&M can't beat him on the field, but at least they're beating him in recruiting. I was like, yes, like all this trash talk is what I need. Like everybody just be as petty as possible.
And if there's one person who's petty, it's Steve Spurrier. And for all of our listeners that think I'm joking, just Google Steve Spurrier petty, and I guarantee you'll have at least like 5 articles that come up with the top 15 things that Steve Spurrier is a god of this.
He really
Steve Spurrier's got more one-liners than your favorite comedian, and they're like good one-liners too. Like oh my god, he's a goat.
What one of my favorites being Peyton Manning was gonna come back to school so that he could be a 3-time Citrus Bowl MVP, something like that.
He said, Steve Spurrier coined the phrase, you can't spell citrus without UT, referencing Tennessee. He also said, he called Florida State Free Shoes University. He made a joke about, like, the Auburn's library burned down one year when he was coaching at Florida, and he was like, man, most of those books hadn't even been colored in yet. Like, Steve Spurrier is a god of trash talk, and, we need to bring that back. Like, I feel like people have become way too diplomatic. Like, we need to remember that this is supposed to be entertainment. We need way more trash talk in all of our sports. Like,
yeah,
it's good for everybody.
I could have this conversation with you for the rest of the show, but just know that it's really a shame what we've done to our college football coaches and neutering them. And thanks to Jimbo Fisher for trying to bring a little bit of that feeling back.
Absolutely. Did I think Jimbo needed to do that? Not
Absolutely,
really,
absolutely
but
not.
Am I happy that he did? Hell yeah! It's amazing.